chaotic scene in the latest flashpoint in the Donald Trump campaign to win the White House. A concern for safety Trump's campaigning in Chicago, forcing the GOP frontrunner to call off his campaign rally. What the tough-talking billionaire is saying about it. Here's ABC's David Wright.
Tonight in Chicago, a college campus suddenly erupted. Police and protesters doing battle because political tensions have reached a boiling point. It all started inside the University of Illinois Pavilion, where 10,000 or so people had gathered to see Donald Trump, not all of them Trump supporters. Then an abrupt announcement.
For the safety of all the tens of thousands of people that have gathered in and around the arena, tonight's rally will be postponed until another day. Thank you very much for your attendance, and please go in peace.
Instead, all hell broke loose. The clash continued even as the crowd spilled out onto the streets. Tonight, Trump on MSNBC blamed it on people angry at Washington.
We have a country that's so divided that maybe even you don't understand. I've never seen anything like it.
Then he told CNN he's only seen love at his rallies.
Nobody's been hurt at our rallies.
The tension between Trump lovers and Trump haters has been building for weeks.
Get out of here. Out.
In Fayetteville, North Carolina this week, a demonstrator being escorted out of a rally got sucker punched by a 78-year-old man. John McGraw told Inside Edition he'd be tempted to throw more than an elbow.
The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
He's now charged with assault and battery, but initially the crowd did nothing to stop him. The protester told ABC affiliate WTVD that he was there peacefully, and aside from protesting, he did nothing to provoke the man.
If it was the other way around, it would have been a different story.
At that same rally, other protesters were attacked by other Trump supporters.
Wow.
The candidate himself has been accused of stoking the anger of his crowds.
We're not allowed to punch back anymore. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. So if you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
But at this week's CNN debate, Trump rejected the idea that he is in any way to blame.
I will say this. We have 30,000 people. You've seen it yourself. People come with tremendous passion and love for the country. And when they see protest, in some cases, you know, you're mentioning one case, which I haven't seen. I heard about it, which I don't like. But when they see what's going on in this country, they have anger that's unbelievable.
Trump's opponents are making hay over this. Earlier today, Marco Rubio accused Trump of inciting the crowds.
There's only one presidential candidate who has violence at their events. And I do think Donald needs to realize and take responsibility for the fact that some of the rhetoric he has used could potentially be contributing to this environment that is growing increasingly disturbing for a growing number of Americans.
Tonight, Ted Cruz called it a sad day for political discourse.
When you have a campaign that affirmatively encourages violence, when you have a campaign that is facing allegations of physical violence against members of the press, you create an environment that only encourages this sort of nasty discourse.
But tonight, Trump insists he's the victim.
All of the Trump supporters have been really treated unfairly because First Amendment says we have a right to speak. I mean, we have a friendly rally. We have a right to speak, and we were stopped from having that right of freedom of speech.
Tonight, the U.S. Secret Service and the Chicago police both insist they didn't pull the plug on this rally, nor would they have recommended doing so. The decision to cancel, they say, was Trump's and Trump's alone. The protesters did accomplish what they set out to do. The guy who was pulled off that podium spoke with ABC's Chicago affiliate, WLS, before the whole thing kicked off.
I can't speak for anybody else, but the hatred, the bigotry, the racism that he has promoted, is going to get a great interruption by a lot of people who are very upset at his agenda.
Tonight, campus police ended up separating the two sides. The Trump supporters contained in a parking garage, the protesters outside.
Come down here!
Keep in mind, this was just a Trump rally. The GOP establishment is now talking openly about contesting a Trump nomination at this summer's National Party convention. The last time that happened was in Chicago, 1968, and it looked like this. Look familiar? In 1968, America seemed on the verge of a civil war. Tonight, the Republican Party sure does. I'm David Wright for Nightline in New York.